Singapore may be a little red dot, but our reach is global. Many local companies have expanded beyond our shores, broadening their footprint across the globe. Given today's fast-changing global economic climate, companies should consider venturing overseas to capture new opportunities, enhance business competitiveness, and achieve sustainable growth. Internationalization is a journey, starting from identifying the right market for expansion, to strengthening your capabilities, to taking that first step into the market. However, the journey is not always smooth sailing. Along the way, you will need the right resources and support. Help is at hand. Introducing Global Connect at SBF, the partner for Singapore companies looking to go global. Regardless of your internationalization journey, Global Connect at SBF can help. Established with the support of Enterprise Singapore, backed by an extensive network of partners globally, Global Connect at SBF delivers a comprehensive suite of services to support you on your journey. Join the other Singapore companies who had successfully expanded overseas. Embark on that journey now. Contact Global Connect at SBF today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board the journey to internationalization. For companies who are keen to venture overseas, Global Connect at SBF is here to partner you along this exciting journey. Be it about identifying the right market for expansion, or strengthening your capabilities, or taking your first step into the market, Global Connect at SBF can help in the following areas: internationalization advisory, market information, business matching, capability development, and in-market facilitation. Our friendly market advisors are readily available to help you along this journey. Reach out to them for a complimentary discussion today. Together, we can make your internationalization journey come true. Thank you.
Dear His Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. Thank you for attending the second edition of the China Economy Outlook webinar series organized by Singapore Business Federation. As some of you may have known, in view of COVID-19's significant impact on businesses and industries locally and globally, SBF has launched this webinar series in order to provide regular updates on the latest work and production recovery situation in China, and to help Singapore companies, including both large enterprises and SMEs, to explore the new and underlying business opportunities arising from COVID-19. In our last session, organized on 26 May, 4 renowned economists and business leaders exchanged ideas on how the pandemic has changed the business landscape in China, what Singapore companies could learn from our Chinese counterparts in turning the crisis and into opportunities, and what were the new business strategies and technologies that the industry could possibly implement. In today's session, our 4 invited guests from Singapore and China we'll have an in-depth discussion on how to build your business resilience and seize new opportunities leveraging from the new tech infrastructure. We hope you will benefit from this webinar. Before we start today's panel discussion, I would like to remind you that if you have any questions that you would like to raise, you may do so by using the Q&A function of this Zoom at any time during the webinar. Our moderator and panelists may choose to reply to you during the Q&A session or answer to you separately. For those unanswered questions, we'll work with the speakers and respond to you individually after the event. As such, it is important for you to indicate your name and company name in the Zoom platform so that we can get back to you later. We would also like to invite you to take part in this poll, which is already live now, to help us understand your organization's digital adoption status and your views on the technology development. We'll close the poll at 3:30 p.m. and share the results before we end the webinar. Without further ado, I would like to introduce today's moderator to you. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Ms. Jennifer Tay, partner of PwC Singapore. Jennifer has over 15 years of experience in large-scale infrastructure financial transactions and strategic advisory, supporting both public and private sectors across Asia. She is also the co-lead of the PwC Southeast Asia infrastructure team. She has advised on many Chinese SOEs outbound and investments and BRI-related infrastructure projects. Now, please allow me to pass the mic to Jennifer for today's panel discussion on Beyond COVID-19, Building Your Business Resilience and Seizing New Opportunities from the New Tech Infrastructure. Jennifer, please.
Thank you, Flora. Welcome everyone to this series of webinar, and good afternoon, everyone. In this webinar, we will discuss how Chinese companies from different industries are responding to COVID-19 by adopting innovative technologies and solutions, how digital infrastructure can boost business resilience and complement the traditional infrastructure projects. Now, as China stepped up its effort to build new infrastructure in the technology space, we are seeing an increasing Chinese investment domestically and globally, whether it's in the 5G network, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, or in data centers, and in many other areas that is making existing infrastructure more intelligent and connected. In Singapore, the Singapore government has also encouraged business to respond to the challenges by adopting new technologies. Some 3.5 billion in support funding has been announced to allow enterprises to adopt ICT spending in 5 areas, including development of new technology tools to respond to COVID, development of ICT systems on cloud, modernization of government ICT infrastructure, usage of data analytics and AI, and sensors within public sectors. In the infrastructure space, we are seeing a lot more technology impact across the value chain, especially in the maintenance and operations of these assets. Technologies like data analytics, sensors, and drones have increasingly been used in asset management and predictive maintenance. These help to improve the efficiencies and performance of these assets. Smart grid, smart metering have also been rolled out in countries in Europe, New Zealand, Australia, and many others to complement the rollout of renewable energy. Today, I am very happy to have with me 3 distinguished guests. They are business leaders in their own respective fields. First of all, I will give a quick introduction of my 3 panelists. Then I'll pass the mic over to each of them to do a quick introduction about the topic and themselves before we go into the Q&A session. So first of all, we have Mr. Lucas Loh. He is the CEO and President of for China of CapitaLand Group. He oversees the business and growth in China. And Lucas is also credited for leading the team in China and accelerating the business growth and income in China. Under Lucas' leadership, CapitaLand successfully completed and opened 4 Raffles City integrated development, including Raffles City Chongqing, which is now a landmark in Chongqing in 2019. We have also Mr. Nicholas Ma. Mr. Nicholas Ma is the CEO of Huawei International. Mr. Ma has held various positions within Huawei in different regions throughout his tenure with the company. He has more than 15 years of experience in telecommunication industry. And last but not least, we have Mr. Felix Yan. Mr. Yan, he is the VP and Head of Marketing Management for MEGVII Technology Co. Limited. This is an AI company, and Felix has more than 20 years in technology management, technical and management experience in the field of ICT. Without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Mr. Lucas Loh. Lucas, please.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Just a short introduction. My name is Lucas Loh, currently the President and CEO of China for CapitaLand Group. China business is one of the key markets for CapitaLand, and it accounts for almost half of the group business at this present moment. And we have entered China in 1994, and since then has developed a big presence in China at this moment. Since 2015, where we faced with increased competition in China, the China business has embarked on digitalization of its business. And in digitalizing our business, we in fact were trying to build a digital ecosystem connecting all our building and our consumer together into a virtual web in order to be competitive in the changing landscape in the business in China, even though we are in the brick and mortar of real estate business. So other than that, we are also trying to build IoT enable our building itself, meaning that to make our building smarter, to connect to our smart consumer, who each of them may have a very smart handphone with them. So how do our building get connected with them? I think since 2015, we have started the process to make our building more intelligent and be connected to our consumer. And of course, on the retail front, which is quite a major business for us, we have 40 over shopping malls across China at this moment. Since then, we also developed a new business model for retail in China, which we call it the O2O to OO, which is offline to online and offline, meaning that we are running a mall, both as a physical mall as well as a virtual mall. And in a sense that you can both visit our mall to shop physically as well as do online shopping and all that. So that is the model that we developed in China at this moment to remain competitive at this landscape. So I think I will speak until now with regard to our business in China. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. Nicholas, would you like to give us an introduction of yourself?
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's Nicholas Ma from Huawei. I'm working in Singapore only 1.5 years. Before that, I have, as introduced by Jennifer, I have worked in different countries for quite long times, over 12 years, and also have traveled to different countries to do the project. So next, please. So before the Q&A session, I want to do a very brief introduction about Huawei. As you know, Huawei is a leading player of the ICT infrastructure and the smart devices. And our vision is bring digital to every person, home, and organization for fully connected, intelligent world. As of now, we have the 194,000 of employee, and among this number, 96,000 is R&D. And also we have the footprint in over 170 countries. And within the global 500 fortune, now we rank number 61. In the latest, the BCG most innovative company, Huawei ranks number 6, which we have proved 42 ranking number. Within Huawei, we have 4 business group, which are consumer, carrier, enterprise, cloud, and AI business group. We are focusing on providing the smart devices, connectivity, computing, and cloud and AI products and services to our consumers, carrier, and the enterprise client. In 2019, as you may know, under the extraordinary challenge from the outside, we still have achieved good business performance because of the joint effort of all employees, clients, and eco partners. Our revenue reached of the $123 billion, and also get the 19% of the year-over-year increase. Our consumer business group took over 15%, and the carrier business group took 35%. This is guarantee our steady increase for the future also. Our massive R&D investment is the key for us to guarantee the absolute leadership in the whole ICT industry. In 2019, as you can see in this in the slides, in 2019 our R&D investment is about $19 billion, which take the 15% of our revenue. And in the past 10 years, our R&D investment also reached over $90 billion. Because of this kind of investment, we have do a lot of the innovative patent around the world. As you can see, 85,000 is our total patent we have got distributed in different countries. As one of the player in global industry and the market, the collaboration with a global partner to build and share the industry development results is fundamental habit for Huawei. As you can see that around the world, we have 13,000 of the global supply partner and 22,000 of enterprise channel partners. And also we have millions of level of the developers, whether it's terminal and ICT. And of course, we also have open lab and also joint innovation and more than 40 R&D centers in different cities and different countries, which is for us very important for our innovative solution and the product. At last, I really want to say again, we really stick to the bring the digital to every person, home, and organization for fully connected, intelligent Singapore and the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Yan.
Thank you, Jennifer. And first of all, thanks for the invitation by Singapore Business Federation to join this China Economic Outlook webinar virtually. I'm very excited to meet you all via the digital platform and talk to you about MEGVII mission to power humanity with AI. Next page, please. My name is Felix. I'm representing a China-based AI startup company, which is called MEGVII. So from this page, you can see that our company have experienced nine years development since it set up in 2011. MEGVII now is a world-class AI company with core competence in deep learning. We provide a full-stack solution which encompasses algorithm, software, and AI-embedded IoT devices. We provide them all to our customer and have achieved the leading position across multiple industries. So MEGVII was on the two most recent 50 smartest companies in the world, published by MIT Technology Review in 2017 and 2019 respectively. Last year, MEGVII entrusted by the Ministry of Science and Technology of China to establish the National Open Innovation Platform for our next generation artificial intelligence on image perception. So if you look at the next two pages, I will show you two simple examples, which are solutions my fellow colleagues developed during the past couple of months. The first solution is about AI-enabled temperature detection solution. We can deep dive more during the panel discussion. In short, this solution basically help people to detect the people's body temperature and avoid any direct touch, and to ensure during this various environment we can provide safe and good environment for human beings. And if you look at the next page, it's another solution we have developed, which is about AI-enabled safety marketing solution. I'm hearing music in background. So if you look at next page, basically MEGVII is building multiple AI solutions beyond those two solutions. Essentially, we would like to provide AI infrastructure to connect and empower various IoT devices to solve the real-life problem and reduce the pain points encountered by our customers around the world. Okay, back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you. I think there was some music overlapped with Phyllis' explanation earlier, but we'll give Phyllis a bit more time to maybe explain later on towards the end of the conversation if we have time.
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Yeah. Okay. Let us go straight into the Q&A session. We have about 25 minutes. And I would like to also remind the participants in this webinar that there is a poll going on. So please remember to participate in the poll. It will be closing in about 10 minutes. Now, I would like to kick off the first question, and I'll open the first question to everyone of the panelists. Now, we're seeing a lot of the Chinese company responding to COVID-19 with technology and building resilient, strategies to by using the technology. What is your observation in terms of Chinese companies' adoption of such a new technology application, whether it's in big data, AI, or smart logistics, or things like that? Shall we start with Lucas?
Okay, probably I will use CapitaLand as an example during this period. How did we ride on technology in terms of facing the pandemic situation? I think during the epidemic, online platform became the main communication and business channel for most Chinese enterprises, with their partner as well as consumer, pushing the company to accelerate their reform and develop their online capability. So for CapitaLand, we started our digital transformation in 2015. Of course, then forced by the increasing competitive market, changing consumer behavior, and also progressive technology advances and adoption in China itself. So when the epidemic forced other companies to begin seeking this digital transformation, we in fact took the opportunity to accelerate on our digital transformation, strengthening both in-house digital adoption as well as digitalization of our property and also the interface with our customer and partner. in a sense, accelerating the building and strengthening of our online and offline integrated business ecosystem, which I have shown earlier on in one of the slides itself. Of course, during the pandemic, we also have used a fair number of these AI and IoT technology in our building as part of the precautionary measure to be taken. I think some of it, just now, Felix Yan has shown some of the things that we in fact have used their system in our building itself during the epidemic itself. I think I would say that for enterprise in China, because of the early adoption of technology and all that, and during the crisis, I think they are more versatile and in fact quicker in terms of reacting to the lockdown situation and react accordingly. Because for the last 5 or 6 years, technology adoption in China, were at a faster rate than most other economies. So in a sense, most of the company are already on a fairly mobile platform. So when all have to start to work from home and all that, in fact, they can quickly switch to that. And we have to lock down building or do temperature screening or all the necessary precautionary measure. A lot of the things actually can be implemented fairly quickly. And of course, among our panelists, MEGVII have a fair bit of solution that in fact are used in most of our buildings. So I will stop there and give the chance to other panelists to add on to this. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, Lucas. How about Nicholas? What's your reaction to this, being a Chinese enterprise?
I want to share some observations which we have done in Chinese market. During the pandemic in Wuhan, we have do some summary after the pandemic. There's about 3 category, 18 kind of the new digital application comes up during these 2 months of the lockdown. Like based on 5G, they have the UAV, and also like some remote application, whether remote education or remote diagnosis. And also there's some like the AI based of the big data analysis, also are serving the people. And also we have observed after that during the last half years, there's like the 5G connected UAV have come handy in advertising, sanitization, and also inspection, which will significantly increase efficiency and low cost. And also it's like some new AI video application also become very popular, like thermal imaging, temperature measurement, masking variant detection, and also passenger flow statistics, security, etc. This kind of temperature measurement becomes a new normal, I think. And also in different markets, whether in China or in overseas, even in Singapore, there's some like the NB-IoT or wideband of IoT electronic application also get more popular. And also you can observe, because we are working from home, this like the smart band assist stay-at-home isolation, and also the help doing the risk control. And of course, we have some like the tracing application also help the whole society to prevent the spread of the virus. There's a lot of the new application and the possible industry application comes up. And the last but not least I want to mention is the robotics, which is whether it's based on 5G or 4G. There's a lot of robotics to help to prevent the virus to spread, whether it's doing the cleaning or it's doing the like some supporting work during the pandemics. There's a lot of the new things comes up. The second I have observed is the digital transformation become very popular among the enterprise, even for the government. So this big trend already become a very certain direction for all of us. Yes, Jennifer.
Thank you, Nicholas. And of course, we have Phyllis. You're at the forefront of technology as well. Many of your application has been used by enterprises. Give us your observations.
Okay, thank you. So the business around the world are experiencing the impact of the same global pandemic, but each enterprise path to recover will be unique. To empower humanity with AI is MEGVI's mission statement, and is also our guidance to deal with this crisis. So my fellow leaders believe in responding quickly, recovering efficiently, and renewing innovatively. As Winston Churchill famously said, so never let a crisis to go waste. In MEGVII, we are not really take the crisis as opportunity, but more like our responsibility. So the AI-enabled temperature detection solution I mentioned during my opening and confirmed by Lucas was used in CapitaLand. It's great to know that was beneficial for CapitaLand business. And in fact, that solution was really developed by my fellow colleagues during the Spring Festival. The R&D team was teamed up in the Spring Festival Eve, and the team have sacrificed their whole Lunar New Year and get developed and tested the whole solution. During this Lunar New Year, we set up the first solution in the public subway to help people to get a better environment to conquer the crisis and the challenges we are facing. And that's only one example. And if we look at that as a solution we developed during the response phase, and another solution I show you was about the AI-enabled beauty marketing solution. So normally, people will go to the shop, the supermarket, go to the shopping mall to buy lipsticks and other cosmetic stuff. But during this crisis, so people do online shopping more and more. So the MEGVII announced our launch of FaceStyle solution, AI-powered makeup and beauty solution in the middle of April. That solution allows the end user to personalize their shopping experience by trying makeup virtually through computer or mobile devices. So using our leading facial recognition technology and the underlying Green++ AI productivity platform, our FaceStyle solution can accurately capture and replicate the end user's facial feature, while very few thousands key points around their mouth, eyes, and their eyebrow to demonstrate the effect of the makeup in realistic setting. So this solution has been widely adopted among our online store and the cosmetic producers. So that's another solution we are deployed during the recovery phase, which is a really innovative way trying to help the business recovery. So take that two examples just show. On top of our AI platform, we are trying to really focus on the area we can empower the humanity with the artificial intelligence. Back to you,
Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Phyllis. And I think I would like to share some of my personal observations as well, especially in the crossroad between new technology and traditional infrastructure. I think before COVID, there has been a lot of talks about application of technology to traditional infrastructure projects. Say, for example, a solar farm. But I think people are generally still quite traditional in their approach in terms of maintenance. But COVID and the inability for people to travel even to the site to do maintenance has actually accelerated the adoption of technology. So we see now drones being used, robotics being used for maintenance and for screening of solar panels. And this wouldn't probably, the speed of this kind of adoption probably wouldn't have been so fast if not for the the need as a result of the pandemic. Now, in the recent months, the past few months, there's been a lot of talk about the new infrastructure concept that has been announced by the Chinese government as one of the new initiatives to respond to the acceleration in terms of infrastructure, in terms of IT infrastructure as well. I'd like to maybe hear from Nicholas. From your perspective, what do you understand by this new infrastructure concept, and what do you think are the opportunities under this new infrastructure initiative?
Okay, Jennifer. I think recently this new infrastructure concept is very popular in the whole world and in the industry also. I want to introduce share some information about this new concept. New infrastructure was raised about end of the 2018 and also released, formally released in March of the 2020. I think everybody maybe knows some of why this kind of new concept comes up. There's few reasons based on my understanding. The first one is really a whole microeconomic development demand. The second is definitely a lot of the new technology have bring a lot of new demand, whether it's from the personnel and also from enterprise, also from the society. And the third is we have observed already, there's a lot of new trend, new demand already there, whether it's online living, whether it's artificial demand, and also in the society, there's a lot of more and more elder there, and we get the more and more urban cities in different countries, and especially in China. And if you mention that the new infrastructure, definitely we need put some focus on this new. What is new? I want to talk about 5 new. One is a new technology, new demand, new industry, new service, and new development. This is essence of the whole new infrastructure framework. So you talk about 3 different level of the future direction. The first is the direct digital infrastructure, which will be in a massive volume way in China. The second is a new infrastructure with a digital core. That is the second portion. The third one is a legacy infrastructure with a digital modernization. So this is, I want to put some focus on the digital infrastructure. You know that I remember a few years ago, everybody talk about the digital China. Many is focus on 2 aspects. One is a digital infrastructure. The second is digital ecosystem. I said these 2 is quite important. And within the digital infrastructure concept, which is take a very high percentage of a new infrastructure, we focus on the resilience and also which can help improve our resilience and lessen the impact of the pandemic for sure. So because this digital infrastructure is a fundamental facility for the whole digital transformation of the society and also the enterprise. I want give 3 key words to everybody. Is one is digital network, digital platform, and also digital infrastructure. The digital network, we talk about 2 different portions. For the consumer, is we call it a 5G consumer, and also maybe the fiber network, and also like for the things, this is whether it's a narrow band or it's a wide band of the IoT Internet of Things. This is a digital network. For the data platform, we mainly do like the digital, this big data, AI, and blockchain. This 3 part. And for the digital infrastructure, we have put some new opportunity like the cloud computing data center. This is already very popular in the industry already. And of course, this is a lot of the investment under the Chinese central government, which they have planned about the 42 trillion RMB. It's equally about $6 trillion US. But that one is quite big for coming few years. But definitely for the whole ICT and also the digital industry, the portion is definitely very, very high also. Jennifer.
Thank you, Nicholas. Very, very informative. Now, the digital infrastructure, how has that helped to boost economic resilience and lessen the impact on the pandemic, especially in terms of improving construction and development efficiency at traditional infrastructure projects? This question has been on some of our audience mind, and perhaps a question I can pose to Lucas. From your perspective, how has that helped to lessen the impact of your business?
No, I think for the digital infrastructure that's put in place, I think certainly on various fronts it has helped to so-called improve the efficiency, as well as, of course, during the epidemic period, fight against the virus and all that. I think as part of the development process, the use of technology actually have ensure a more efficient way to develop our building and projects. I think you have rightly mentioned that, I mean, the use of drone, the use of 3D scanner and all that, that ensure that during the construction process, a lot of the thing, including the use of the digitalization of the plan, so that we can, in fact, even before we build, can find area where we can improve on, and also where the M&E services, where with the building, the integration of all the different services can be done in the most efficient manner and all that. I mean, that probably will be more on the development aspect. As for the running of the building and all that, I think the use of technology and the digital infrastructure can in fact help a lot of the maintenance work as well as the running of the building itself. Like I say earlier on, that we're trying to make our building more intelligent and all that. And a lot of it is got to do with the maintenance and running of the building to ensure the efficiency. Because utility costs account for one of the major expenses in running any of the building, whether is it our shopping mall, our office building and all that kind of thing. So with the adoption of a lot of sensor, a lot of some AI technology being built in, actually it can allow all these services to be run in tip-top condition, and preventive maintenance can be done to avoid breakdown and all that kind of thing. So all these are a way to ensure that we are able to get everything up to speed in the quickest manner. Of course, the adoption of technology also has made a difference between us and the interface with our consumer, who are the people that work in our office building, who are the people to walk into the shopping mall that buy our things and all that. Like earlier on, I mentioned that in fact, with the adoption of technology, we are forced to do not only our virtual shopping mall, we also have to go online and integrate the two together. So our way of doing our e-commerce is not so much to run it as a separate business with our physical mall, but see how we can improve the income and intake of our shopping mall by having the virtual platform, meaning that is to improve the performance of the physical mall by having an additional virtual mall building on top of our physical mall itself. So in fact, during the last few months during the epidemic, there is a huge acceleration in terms of both convincing our consumer to go online, as well as convincing our tenant, which are all the retailer, to go online. In fact, the lockdown where people can't get out of the house virtually eradicate the hardcore who think that physical shopping is the only solution. So I think some of them has converted to both online and offline. So in a way, I think how we see the so-called new infrastructure, I think for CapitaLand's perspective, we have to ensure that all our property, the building, as well as the people inside our buildings are also part of this ecosystem of the new infrastructure. In fact, we see property or building in the new economy is actually considered as part of the infrastructure itself. So if you do not want to be left out of the new so-called economy ecosystem, so our building then have to be as part of the nodes or gathering place of this new economy. So to be that, and for the people to be remain in this building to be relevant to the new economy, then we have to ensure that are not left out of this whole infrastructure itself. And making our building as part of the infrastructure, I think, is the only way we stay relevant in the new economy. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Lucas. And I think I should be looking forward to application like what Felix was saying about online shopping for makeup in CapitaLand Mall very soon.
It's already available.
Okay, I should really try that then. Felix, over to you. What is your reaction to this question?
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. So same as the traditional infrastructure, the infrastructure itself has a multiplier effect on well-being. So the infrastructure investment has a powerful multiplier effect always. So they enhance accessibility and facilitate trade, improve mobility, etc. So in the technology world, so basically we describe the normal data center or our technology stack like infrastructure as a service and the platform as a service, and on the top application as a service. So the infrastructure in the engineer's mind is also very fundamental. So it has multiplier effect as well. So back to MEGVII. So basically we are an AI company. So we are one of the very few companies in the world that have developed a proprietary deep learning framework, which is called Green++. So our artificial intelligence algorithm platform functions as a unique underlying architecture and provides critical support for all the algorithm training and the model improvement process. So in the 9 years development history, all the existing solutions and product we provided to our commercial customer built on top of this infrastructure. And to cite, during this new infrastructure program announced by China government, so we have been trying to ride on this opportunity. On 25th March, MEGVII has open sourced our self-developed deep learning framework. We call it MEG-Engine. We're allowing all the developers around the world to use this improved platform to develop their own AI algorithm and AI model. So this will allow more people to accelerate their digital transformation and AI transformation on top of this fundamental infrastructure. And we call this Green++ as a productivity platform, also because after introducing this platform to our ecosystem, we will not only limit the utilization of this platform to the MEGVII employees, and we also work with our partners and customers in the community, in the ecosystem, to build their application and platform on top of this deep learning framework. So our work has been really built on top of this new infrastructure strategy, and we hope to benefit all the people in our community as Back to you, Jennifer. Jennifer, you are
Thank you,
mute.
Phyllis. Yeah, thank you, Phyllis. We come to the end of the Q&A, but I know the rest of the audience must be eager to also ask questions. Before we go into that, the poll results are also ready. So if everyone can see on your screen, the poll results. So maybe let us, quickly run through the poll results, and some of the panelists might have some reaction to some of these poll results as well. The first question, I think a lot of people joining us today are in professional services, manufacturing, and the government sector. Which is good. And most people have more than 200 employees. About 52% have already introduced some form of digital technology before the COVID-19. Only 30% said that they started using it with the intention of keeping up of the technology after COVID-19. That's a good sign. This is interesting. The question is, what are the digital tools your organization has already introduced before and during COVID-19? 85% has used some form of virtual meeting and conference facilities. Well, I think our webinar today is a good example. And there are more than half who has used technology for internal approval systems. A question for the panelists: which of these technologies are the ones that you use most often during this COVID-19, work from home situation or non-traveling situation?
So the online meetings service is definitely on top of the list.
Nicholas?
There's a lot of application I use. The meeting application is, I think, is the most often application, and of course, online purchase. And also, it's like we have some like the video related application is used very often.
Lucas?
Yeah, I think the online meeting, online purchases, I think we start to appreciate and see the benefit of a crowd-based kind of platform in our system itself, because suddenly you realize that you probably cannot be always in the same place to work on, to do your work. So suddenly the crowd-based kind of platform that you have become something that is cannot be do without. Thanks.
Yeah, certainly. I think all of us know that we have been working harder because of all this online platform as well.
Yeah, maybe Jennifer, I can add an example. So my company provides an SDK which helps the developer to remove the background in a picture or video. So this SDK's sales revenue raised dramatically during this really couple of months.
Okay. Number 5, what are the digital tools your organization has already introduced before? I think ERP system is probably something that most organizations would have. This is followed by storage management systems and electronic data interchange and IoT devices. Okay, robotics seems to be still a nascent technology that I think most people will be looking to implement in future. What are the bottlenecks against introducing this technology? Cost seems to be the biggest concern, right, with 39%, followed by commitment and understanding by employees. Yeah, I think technology, to implement technology, you do need a lot of commitment. What are your expectations in introducing digital technology, less paperwork, even paperless business environment? Yeah, and cost reduction. About 20% actually would like some form of clearer rules and regulations for promoting paperless business. This is interesting. And well, I think definitely more financial support from the government in terms of introducing the digital tools and technology will be welcomed by the enterprise. Yeah. On this last question from the panel, any views in terms of what would be the kind of support that you think would be good for you in terms of pushing some of this digital adoption? Will you agree with the poll that financial support would be something that is important?
Jennifer, maybe I can put a few words on that. I think in Singapore, definitely there's some good example already. The financial support given to every personnel and the enterprise already. That definitely is for the short-term support quite important, and also for the long-term, definitely maybe. Together with the ecosystem, government maybe can help all the participants in the industry to speed up the digital transformation. I mean, the resilience to the epidemic. That's definitely for the long term, which including maybe some like the digital talent, and also for the long term survivor, and also give some policy to facilitate the development of some SME and the startup, maybe also help. Yeah.
Definitely training, so support besides financial support from the government would be important. Yeah. Okay. We've gone through the poll results. Maybe let us jump into the Q&A session. I think we have about 5 minutes left for the Q&A. And we have one question actually for Nicholas to comment on Huawei's 5G technology in the healthcare application. Nicholas, what's your view on this?
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. I can give some indication about the 5G technology on healthcare. In fact, that one, since 2018, we start to do some like experimental use case in China and also in other countries to do on the healthcare, which is like the remote surgery, remote diagnosis, and also like some remote device based on the 5G module. As you know, any 5G use case, we need not only the network, also we need the device, smart device, and also the edge computing, and also the cloud and application. So that one usually it take some time to be mature for any possible use case. So after 2.5 years experimental use case roll out in China in some specific city like Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Beijing, some cities, definitely the 5G based of the healthcare solution now come to a relatively mature period. But of course, it's not come to the massive rollout of a period, but the solution will become more and more mature in the coming maybe 1 year even. So that one we can have more expectation from industry, not only with the effort from Huawei, also from a lot of the eco partners in different level of the whole architecture. Jennifer.
Thank you, Nicholas. We have a question on the, and I think this is on the construction industry in China. Maybe Nicholas, sorry, not Nicholas, but Lucas can respond to this question. Any suggestions in terms of tapping into the construction industry in China, given this is probably one of the government's, one area which the government may be using to boost economic recovery? What is your view on this?
I don't quite understand the question. Is using the construction industry to boost the economy?
Correct. So how do people outside of China tap into that, or any suggestion in terms of people going to China and going to the construction industry?
Oh, I see. I think the construction industry in China is quite an established industry, and in fact is dominated by a lot of the state-owned enterprises in the industry itself, and they have built up a lot of expertise in this area. Of course, there are foreign contractors involved in the more sophisticated project in China itself. But I would say that leading on to the earlier question on building the new infrastructure for in China itself, in fact, going forward as part of the boosting of the economy, a lot of the infrastructure, so-called, that we are building in China going forward may not be necessarily means the construction, the traditional construction-based type of business itself. So, I mean, like one of the panelists has said, it's more building the digital kind of infrastructure. So this is very different from the early day where, as part of economy boosting packages, you will build more road, bridges, power station, and all that. I think we probably are entering into a different era and situation now, particularly for China itself. Yeah.
Thank you. So I think maybe some form of partnership with Chinese players to bring in technology or new innovative ways of implementing projects overseas would be quite interesting.
It will be more involved on construction management and the adoption of maybe the more technological advanced kind of construction management method. That could be a potential point to as an entry into the more saturated industry now in China itself.
Thank you, Lucas. Next, I think we are running out of time, but maybe one last question, and maybe Felix can take this one on what do you think are some of the security concerns when it comes to adoption of technology? How do you think this can be addressed?
Yeah, it's always very critical to have trade-off between the efficiency and the security and the privacy. So actually last year, MEGVII was the first AI company in China set up our community focused on the AI governance. So we really want to get the AI accelerated and be innovative. And meanwhile, we want to get the AI for doing good, not evil. So that's the principle. We will, that's on the heart of this company, and the actions is more important than the words, so we want to do the right thing.
Yeah, so I think there is some trade-offs definitely in terms of security and adoption, but finding a good partner in terms of your digital adoption would be an important first step. Yeah. Okay. We are, I think, running out of time. Thank you everyone for your participation and the questions. I think the SBF team would attempt to get most of these questions answered by the panel offline. I will pass the floor back to the SBF team.
Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you, Lucas, Nicholas, and Felix for the insightful sharing and discussion in the past 1 hour. We really appreciate the time and the effort you've spent for our webinar. I would also like to thank all the attendees for joining us today and coming up with so many wonderful questions. Subsequently, in September, we will actually organize the third edition in the China Economic Outlook webinar. If you are already in our mailing list, you will receive the event details very soon. And if you are not in our mailing list and would like to receive future event invitations and market updates on China and North Asia markets, you may scan the QR code as shown on the screen right now to join us as the SBF China and North Asia Business Group member. This is a complimentary service provided by SBF. And lastly, appreciated if you can spend 1 to 2 minutes filling up the feedback poll as pop up on your screen right now. This will help us improve our event management and content development for the upcoming webinars. Once again, thank you everyone. Thank you the speakers. Thank you for the participants. Please stay healthy and safe. See you in our future events soon. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Bye.
welcome on board the journey to internationalization. For companies who are keen to venture overseas, Global Connect at SBF is here to partner you along this exciting journey. Be it about identifying the right market for expansion, or strengthening your capabilities, or taking your first step into the market, Global Connect at SBF can help in the following areas: internationalization advisory, market information, business matching, capability development, and in-market facilitation. Our friendly market advisors are readily available to help you along this journey. Reach out to them for a complimentary discussion today. Together, we can make your internationalization journey come true. Thank you.